Now, what would you recommend if somebody does love running and they love road running and they go every morning before work?
Yeah, so totally sweet. It's cool to have good routine and take care of your body like that. Make sure you're using good shoes, and I would consider looking for trails. I would just try and get away from running on concrete all the time, just because that repetitive, never-changing motion helps develop muscle imbalance. And running is an okay thing. So if you have good running technique, running is like a fine activity, and it's pretty hard to do like too much running. Like you don't see too many soccer players that are like totally messed up, or like the Africans in the Sahara that like run down fucking gazelle. They run them down. Like packs of 5 guys go out into like a desert Sahara, and they will like circle and run gazelle till the gazelle are so tired that they just fucking lay down. They're like, there's dinner. So it's like running again is like maybe not bad for you, good running technique. None of those things I just described are like running down a paved road. That's like a non-natural environment that you're doing a 15,000 repetitions, which is like really isolating the motion to a certain set of muscles. And the reality of the human body is that we have a wide variety of patterns that we can do. And I think to have like really good cognitive function, and there's a relation between how good you are at moving your body and the number of patterns you can move your body in, and like how well your brain works. And that's why I think like parents out there, like put your kids in gymnastics. Gymnastics is like cat's meow, because the kids learn like all kind of good fundamental patterns. They build their core properly, like right from the beginning. And you ever meet a kid who's like 16 or whatever, who's done gymnastics versus a kid who didn't, the strength difference is like 5-1. And they look the same. They'll like look the same with their shirts on and stuff. But that one kid who's been doing gymnastics for 5 years or whatever, he's way better mover. And I've never seen stats on this, but I would be curious to see this if somebody did some research like that. The intellectual performance in school in those groups, if you could like look at that and see overall like how that shaped out. Because I think there's a correlation between moving and learning a broad range of patterns and how that affects your brain. Because it's just new stuff, right? Constantly doing new stuff. So the repetitions of running is just hard on you. It's hard on the body to keep repairing. So if you love running every morning, make sure you're getting fresh shoes pretty regularly. I think most shoe manufacturers nowadays kind of like, I think within the running world, they do talk about that. There are like people being honest saying like, oh, I do this many miles and then like that's it for these shoes and I move on. So be diligent in doing that if you're running on road and concrete, and then adopt some myofascia release techniques and some stretching that's going to help maintain balance in your muscular system, because you're doing so many repetitions of a very particular range of motion. Unless you do other activities as well, it's just going to be really important to make sure you're releasing and stretching those muscles that you're using so often, because otherwise they become overused, extra tight, and then you start getting other issues, back problems, hip problems, all that kind of stuff.
I think that's the most common thing I see is people go to the gym and they go to CrossFit, but there's not enough people talking about stretching.
Nobody likes to stretch.
Should be daily. I'm guilty for it. I'm much better than I was. Like I'm at least 2 to 3 times a week. Yeah. But every time I go see my massage therapist or chiropractor,
she's
they're like,
asking,
are you stretching daily?
She's only asking